Hello everyone and welcome to Power Playground. This is your host Michael, and today's episode is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be more of an uncut type experience. It's not going to be a full start to finish type model as your normal FreeCAD video would be. That's just because this model is pretty complicated. It took me most of the night to actually do. And I just wanted to go ahead and cover the basic part that I haven't really covered too much in depth before, just because I haven't really, grasped it fully. But yep, it's going to be a lot of difficulty on my end trying to get it to work. And I hope you all learned something from my mistakes as well as what I've figured out here. And also, I will be getting back to the normal content like the 3D printer vlogs and the e-bike build project. I'm actually working right now on the battery bank, which is what this is for. So I hope you all enjoy this video coming up here. So let's go ahead and cut to it. Hello everyone and welcome to Power Playground. This is your host Michael, and today I'm going to be showing you all another FreeCAD tutorial here. This one is how to map a sketch to a face properly, as well as using blue lines in your sketches to define certain constraints. So I'm going to start off with my shape here real quick just to show off this particular concept. Now with this particular design, I would recommend using very, very small lines initially for the center designs here, just because if things can scale up easily but not scale down easily, that is what I've found whenever you're trying to design any sort of part in FreeCAD. Just make sure you can be able to scale it up and you don't have to scale it down as much. It's okay if you scale it down just a little bit, but if you have to scale it down like twice the size or like half the size, you're going to run into a lot of problems with like circles and things are just freaking out and like just not even resembling their form or shape. So I digress. Now what I want to do is I'm going to create, basically I'm going to have 3 of these circles and of course lines connecting all of them, creating a singular shape. So what I want to do is I'm going to create the center circle type shape. Now of course it's going to be 2 of these arcs, and unfortunately through normal circumstances I would have to define the center of each arc, this little dot here, twice. But however, if we take a line and we hit this blue key here, you see all these tools have changed to blue instead of white. You can create a line like I've done here. And as you see, this line is blue. So that means that it's not going to show up, or it's not going to be visible outside of our view here for part designs. So, and of course, it won't be visible for the actual model itself. So I'm going to go ahead and create the arc, and as you saw, I made sure the this line or the point for the line is yellow, and then I click this side here, make sure that's yellow, and then there we go. So now as you see, both the center point is bound to this axis by default. I can move it around freely, so good to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and create our third and final circle. And hopefully my tiny line rule will work. So last time it was a total fail, unfortunately. So click our blue again. I'll show you all another example. So say you screw up, you didn't click that button, so it's not blue. It's easy. You just click the line or whatever element you want to convert, and then you just hit this button, and there you go. It just turns blue. So easy as that. So now I'm going to go ahead and define my radius here, which is going to be 6.5. And okay, so. And I want all 4 of these shapes to be exactly the same. Okay. And I'm going to manually define these sizes real quick. And these are a little too big for my liking. So I'm going to change them. Now in my case, I want to manually scale it because when I didn't do this, it just freaked out, and this was like, whoa, it did like crazy stuff like that and wouldn't it would lock up. Like this program is very buggy, and of course, if you don't time your constraints or order them correctly in the way you do them, the entire model or the entire sketch will lock up and you'll have to revert back to a certain point or just scrap the model entirely and redo it like I had to do. Hopefully not going to run into that. So now that we have our sizes here, it should just be a matter of, actually first what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these symmetrical. Fingers crossed. Oh, actually. So I'm going to define these by 8. Okay. Sweating bullets over here. It's nothing. All right. Okay. Now that we have the hard part out of the way, I want to make these point-to-points 22.5. And then, oh, there we go. I'm just going to go ahead and equal these out because it's the same exact thing. And okay, so now we have our shape, and now I can stick it wherever I want. So for the time being, let's see here. Right now, actually, just deselect that, hit this lock button. Let's see here, 0. Okay, so I'm going to stick this here, just to make them very easy for me so when I go back and edit this here. So now we're good to go. So we have our piece. Now let's go ahead and toggle the base in which we are going to assign it to. So we have it there, that's fine. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and map that sketch to the surface here. So I click this surface, make sure you deselect it first, and then just click it. Don't click it from the left. Click whatever actual surface area you want to map this to. So now I'm going to click map to a surface, sketch 01. Where did my scalings go here? Oh, here's one. Of course, it like kind of screwed me and moved it wherever the heck it well pleased. Now, where's my other 0? That's my other 8. Another 8. There should be another 0. Where the heck is it? FreeCAD, what are you doing to me? Alrighty, folks. So I went ahead and figured it out here. Now, of course, I have my the goal piece I want to combine everything with. However, I'm not going to use that because it creates a lot of issues. So I've created just a standard cube, no modifications to it whatsoever. Just same exact dimensions and the same exact placement. And then we have our sketch here. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to map it here. There we go. Should work in practice. There we go. So now it's at the correct rotation. Previously, when I tried to bind it to the other shape, or actually the other pad, essentially what it was, is it was freaking out and rotating this, which is impossible to pretty much rotate it properly without, extremely modifying this model here, or the sketch. So wasn't going to do that. Of course, another thing is, as you see, this is under constrained. I do not have it constrained to the center point, so it is free moving. Of course, the rest of the model is pretty constrained pretty well, just those 2 points. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that here. I'm going to lock it up. Just needs to be 1 to. Okay, so this is 14.5. That looks about right there. Yeah, okay, there we go, perfect. Of course, the reason we went ahead and assigned that sketch to this map the sketch to the face is to do a pocket, and then of course a linear pattern. So I'll go ahead and show you. I did this in a previous episode. I'm just gonna go through all, hit OK, punch OK, and then we do our linear transform. We're gonna do 8 of these bad boys, and then of course 18.5 multiplied by 7. Of course, 18.5 is the 650 cell, so this has to be 129.5. There we go. Of course, how we get this over is we have our main base. We're going to select these 2 objects, and then we're going to go to part, and then of course we are going to do one of these here, this bad boy, intersection. So there we go. We have our intersection here. Now all the other stuff is pretty much stuff I've covered before. I just have a bunch of other cutouts and whatnot I have already added into our shape here. So I'm going to go ahead and toggle those bad boys. Those are going to be other cutouts. Okay, is it going to work? Yay, it worked. So there we go. There's a cool little battery holder. Now, as you can see, there's just some cool little interesting cuts and whatnot I've done to it. So there we go. That's pretty much the whole extent. So there's my cool little battery holder. Of course, we just got this shape and multiplied it so we wouldn't have to repeat it. Unfortunately, it probably took me longer than it would just be to create little circles and squares, but it does make the model a lot less complicated in terms of structure. Hope you all learned from my trials here of getting this particular thing to work here. Like I said, I'm just going to do a few details. I just wanted to show you all those particular steps. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Consider subscribing. subscribing, and check out some other videos here. Gonna have another e-bike battery or build log here soon, detailing this particular step, as well as some other cool little videos here as well. So have a great day.